also the same type of unwanted substances that will be making the given substance impure. We talk about pollutants in the air, right? Like too much of carbon dioxide is a pollutant. All right. So that is the thing. So we did talked about so many things in the chapter previously. Yes.
Sir, even I have two doubts.
Yeah.
Sir, it's about the wastewater treatment plant. Actually, what does aeration tank do again?
Look here. Aeration tank basically uh, enriches the water with air. It basically pumps air into the in that water, right? We
Okay,
know that
sir.
there are
So with
two
the
type.
air, because of the air, anaerobic bacteria gets formed.
No, aerobic bacteria are there. First of all, aerobic bacteria are already there in the aeration tank, right? But in order for aerobic bacteria to start decomposing the waste in that, start eating the biodegradable waste, right now, it needs good amount of oxygen. So when oxygen will be given to it, it will reproduce also. So number of aerobic bacteria will also multiply, right now. So that's why air is basically pumped into the aeration tank. In that manner, it is happening.
Okay,
Getting it now?
sir. Sir, and there's no difference between sludge. I mean, sludge and activated sludge, right?
Look here. When we talked about activated sludge, now, activated sludge is mostly liquid in nature. Okay, no? It
Okay,
will
sir.
be having human feces and animal excreta and other biodegradable waste in it. That will be there, but it will be in a
In
dissolved
liquid.
state. Much more amount of
Okay.
water will be in the activated sludge as compared to the sludge that is obtained during the initial steps. Getting it, guys?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So let's today the chapter will be basically finished. I will be asking few questions also. So talking about the eucalyptus plant, I already told you about the eucalyptus plant that normally near the sewerage, near the ponds, it is basically planted so that it absorbs the water
What?
and that it will be releasing pure water vapor into the air. Okay. Now there are a few other important facts. See, plants, you know that they are good at filtering out pollutants from the air, right now. So you get to see that um, due to air pollution now. In the year 2019, World Health Organization estimated that only due to the uh, air pollution. Okay, now in air pollution also you get to see that we talk about the air outdoor air quality and we do talked about the indoor air quality also. So only because of poor indoor air quality now, it was estimated that 2 million deaths are there. Getting it, guys? So in 2019, World Health Organization estimated that over 2 million, that is 20 lakh deaths are because of poor indoor air quality, right? And we get to see that 92% of the world is living with poor air quality, right? So thereby here indoor plants will be playing a very great role here. Right now we know that there are certain plants which can absorb more amount of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere as compared to others. Okay, now right, so that is the thing about the plants, so that they are acting they are helping in filtering out pollutants from the atmosphere. Okay, now so they will be reducing the pollution in our house, and they will be doing so by filtering out harmful toxins from the air. So plants can help to reduce the volatile organic compounds found within our homes, which are bad for the environment and our health. So when we talk about volatile organic compounds, volatile, volatile, something that easily evaporates, that is called as volatile organic compounds. Hope you guys are understanding that. For example, if there's a organic substance that is rotting inside our house, so that will be releasing some, um, let's say rotting vegetables are there, so that will be releasing some toxic gases also, no, into the air. Those toxic gases will be taken up by some particular kind of plants, so they will be reducing the volatile organic compounds. Volatile, again let me repeat, volatile is anything generally which evaporates. Already, like water is volatile, petrol is volatile. If you were to leave petrol for some time open, it will start to evaporate. Right now, is any questions on this?
So, sir, it will basically
So
evaporate fast. Fastly, it will evaporate. Volatile.
A volatile basically means something that can evaporate.
Fast.
uh,
Not fast, basically not, we say basically not fast and not in that manner. Anything that basically will evaporate. That is what volatile means. We don't talk about how rate the how much is the rate of evaporation. Not that thing is considered. Yeah, Chakrika.
so like, can you write down the meaning?
Sure. Volatile. Volatile. Any substance that can evaporate. Okay, no.
Okay, so
So that is the thing. Now, other certain studies have shown that keeping plants at your home can impact on the mental health also. Like it
so
can
can you go to
have
the previous slide?
yeah, sure. It can have positive impact on mental health also. It can reduce the stress also. So basically, there are psychological and therapeutic benefits of keeping plants at home as well. Right now.
Yes, sir. You can continue.
So here you have the eucalyptus plant. So what is the benefit of eucalyptus plant? Yes, absorbs
So it
high
absorbs
amount.
more water.
Exactly, it absorbs high amount of water and then releases pure water vapor. Water vapor. So that is the benefit of it.
Absorb fast water. And, sir, like it is like very it is having very fast rate to absorb water.
Exactly, exactly. It will be absorbing water at a very fast rate. So since the rate of evaporation is fast, it will be transpirating at a very faster rate. It will be releasing water into the atmosphere very at a very fast rate in the form of pure water vapor. Getting it now? And then we have this moon cactus. Moon cactus. Yeah. So is it good for whom? And in what ways it is good? You guys know understand about this one more term here before we talk about the moon cactus. There's a term called as carbon footprint. You might have heard of this in news or in newspapers. If you read the newspapers, you might have heard of carbon footprint. Yeah.
Yeah.
So carbon footprint is basically what? The amount of carbon that is being generated by a country or basically generated anywhere, that is called as carbon footprint. Getting it, guys? That is what carbon footprint means. Okay. Normally you get to see that the carbon footprint of developed countries are more as compared to the developing countries. Okay, now so basically, just like you have different type of indexes, you guys understand the index, different type of indexes like measures there you
Air
have.
quality index.
Exactly, air quality index is there right now. Yeah, then you get to like a human happiness index, right? Human happiness index is there. Then you have like so many type of different indexes are there. So simply it's like a measure, a tool to measure how much of carbon is being released into the environment by different type of activities, right? Particularly here we talk about organizations, government, community. right now. So due to different type of human activities, we are releasing a carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, right now. So that is the thing about it. So carbon footprints from different countries are reported every year, right now. And if someone is crossing the limit, they will be certain sanctions will be imposed upon them.
Sir,
Certain.
I didn't get it. Like, what is carbon footprint?
Look, understand it in this manner. Like carbon footprint is what? Like via different type of activities here on Earth, we are releasing carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, right? Via industries, right now, via different type of other activities from domestic sources also, carbon dioxide is being emitted into the Earth. So the amount of carbon dioxide that individual persons, uh, governments, right, industrialists, different persons are basically releasing into the atmosphere. So that is called as carbon footprint. Right now, you can count in it like the carbon dioxide coming from the vehicle, chimneys of the factory, right now, from petrol pumps, from aviation industry, basically from aeroplanes. Right now, all of them are releasing carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, right? So that is called as carbon footprint. So normally, like there's a data of each country, like which country is generating how much of carbon footprint right now. Hope you guys are able to understand this thing, huh? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now. Hmm. So normally there will be like we can understand about carbon footprint in this manner also. Like my house will also be releasing some amount of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So there will be a carbon footprint for my house also. Yes, guys, from your house also, from everyone's house, some amount of carbon dioxide is being released into the atmosphere. Getting it or not? So
Yes, sir,
some
getting it.
studies have shown that plants like moon cactus can help in reducing what?
CO2.
Carbon. Huh,
Carbon.
exactly, carbon footprint. All right, no. So that is the thing about the moon cactus. Okay, no. So hope you guys are getting it that it can absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Right. Any other questions on it?
No, sir.
Okay. Then you have peace lily, which Chakrika was telling me about. Right now. So it also helps in keeping the indoor air quality very good. Indoor air quality. Okay, no. That is peace lily. Sanitation at public places. Yeah. You guys can add points from your side, like what are the steps one should take at a community level or at an individual level in order to keep the keep sanitation and public places good. Yeah, Chakrika, what are
We
the
should
So
anyway,
yes on this? We should
not litter.
we should not litter. We should throw the
and
garbages in the
so
dustbin. Yes,
this is actually the municipality thingy. Actually, they should make sure that the public bathrooms are clean.
exactly, exactly. The public bathroom should be cleaned every day. Yes, what else?
Sir,
Yes,
and they should also keep the roads clean.
exactly, exactly. That should be done. Okay, now many times we get to see that they due to huge number of gatherings of peoples and festivals or in fairs, large amount of garbage is collected in a given area, right now. So thereby people should ensure that the things that they carry to those places, they should keep that place clean by not littering it everywhere, right now. Right, so by adopting measures at a community level and at a local level, we can bring the change, right? So you get to see that there are various places in our country which are very much crowded. So especially in those areas, we need to adopt measures to keep the area clean, right? So that is the thing. Okay, now let's have few questions. Okay, now by the way, before I move on to this now, there were a few important terms which we didn't discuss earlier, like how do we have an alternate arrangement for sewage disposal? Sewage disposal, you guys understand, no? Sewage disposal,
Yes.
right? So, for example, uh, yes,
No, nothing, sir. I thought we discussed about this already. So yeah.
no. Like normally, we get to see that our sewage basically goes into the wastewater treatment plant, right now that's where it basically goes, and thereby it is either dumped into the water body, or either in some cases reused for different type of or different purposes. What if we were to adopt certain measures and have alternative arrangement in order to dispose the sewage? Okay, now, so like what we were studying earlier, we were talking about composting
So we
toilets.
should.
Yes, on this alternate arrangement for sewage disposal.
So do you know the oil and gas that will happen in the first sedimentation tank? We should not throw it in the water. We should throw in the dustbin.
Exactly. That should also not be thrown in the garbage. And many times you get to see that so many stray animals like cats and dogs will be eating from the garbage, right? So many times people would be throwing broken glasses also. Huh? People will be throwing broken glasses in the open garbage, and thereby the stray cats and dogs and other animals will be feeding on that waste, and many times they will get a cut from those broken glasses. You might have seen the animals, then they will be bleeding. So
Yes,
that
sir.
should also not be done. So in fact, the best way to dispose glasses is to wrap them in a cloth. Wrap it in a cloth, tape it, and then throw it. Okay, no?
Sir, even plastic, when dogs are example like the same thing you said, but their heads
Hmm.
or their legs, they get stuck in the plastic.
Yeah, many times you'd see that right now. It gets stuck in their food pipe. They have trouble, difficulty in eating, and eventually they die. Okay, recent study showed that in India there are 2 crore stray dogs. How many? 2 crore. Imagine the number of stray dogs in India. If you were to look at news over the past few months, there have been several cases where child and certain people, many peoples have been killed by the stray dogs. Okay, no. So I did saw certain news where basically childrens over the age of 4 to 5 years were being pulled by several stray dogs, and eventually the girl died. So there has been certain cases like that as well. So one of the ways to that, vaccinate so many dogs, like because they uh, spread rabies also, right now. And also it is high time that government needs to pay attention towards this rising problem also, because 2 crore of stray dogs are there. Obviously it is going to create a problem right now. So there has to be certain centers where they should be put and taken care of. Getting it, no? Taken care of in this manner that they should be kept in a good manner. Okay, now well fed and then vaccinated. Anyways, coming back to the topic, alternate arrangement for sewage disposal. So as an alternate as an alternative for sewage disposal, nowadays you get to see that on-site sewage is being used. On-site sewage. So what is this? For example, septic tanks are there. Okay, no? On-site sewage. What does it mean? Let's understand this thing. We have several examples of on-site sewage treatment. For example, we have septic tanks. Then you have like chemical toilets are also there, and then the one which we already studied, you have the example of composting toilets also, right? So if you were to talk about septic tanks, so septic tanks are often installed under the ground in houses or in buildings right now. And here basically the human waste is going into the septic tank, and then thereby it is being decomposed by the action of anaerobic bacteria right now. So the human excreta that goes in the septic tank, so thereby what is happening, the anaerobic bacteria is decomposing that human excreta. So that is an alternate arrangement for sewage disposal. Rather than flowing this human excreta into the drains, it should be thrown into the septic tanks where it will be decomposed by the anaerobic bacteria. Getting it, guys?
Yes.
Then you have chemical toilets also.
Well,
Chemical
like
toilets.
in chemical toilet, basically the human excreta will go to the biogas plants, right?
In chemical toilets.
Indirectly will go to the biogas plants.
No, it's not like that. Basically, in chemical toilets, what happens now? You get to see that the human excreta will go into different compartments. Different compartments are made into the toilet. Okay, na? And there they will be treated with certain chemicals, and it makes it odorless. Okay, na? It reduces the foul smell coming from it. Okay, now so there will be several separate compartments are there in the chemical toilets compartments, and chemicals are used to treat it. Okay, no? So chemicals are used to basically decompose it, right? And the smell is no more coming from it. So that is what basically chemical toilets are. Okay, it decreases the foul odor coming from it. Nowadays you might have seen, by the way, this chemical toilets now they are used as temporary solution. Like you might have seen at construction sites, these are installed. Okay, now because at
Yes.
construction sites where the work is for few months or few years, they will not be building septic tanks, right? Okay, now because the municipality will not allow it. So thereby you get to see that at construction sites, chemical toilets are used, right? So why chemicals are being used here? In order to reduce the smell coming from it, right now. So it is durable as well, and it is convenient as well, right now. It can be transported from one place to another. Hope you guys understood this one. Talking about composting toilets, we did already talked about this one. So here human waste is being decomposed in a biological manner right now, where you will be using earth forms, right? And then bacteria also. Okay, no? So hope you guys got this one. Any other questions
Yes.
in it? If there's any other question in the chapter, please do let me know.
No, sir.
Chakrika, to you.
No, sir, I don't think so.
Okay, so let's discuss few questions then. You guys can answer these questions in the chat box. Okay, no? Just write the option, not the full option. Just write the option number. Which of the following is a wastewater?
Sir, I can't send it to you, sir. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, sir, we can't send it to your ID.
By the way, am I visible in the class or not?
yes, sir, you are
Yes,
visible,
sir,
but we
you're
can't send it to you.
Okay, there might be some technical issue, or anyways, I will be assigning the question then. Okay. Yes, Sundas. Yeah. Read the question and answer it.
Which of the following is a wastewater? So it's water coming out of laundry.
Very good. Yes, Chakrika.
Sir, it's C, asthma.
Water polluted by various human
Various
activities
human
causes.
activities cause a number of
Exactly.
waterborne diseases. Which of the following is not a waterborne disease? And it's asthma.
Exactly. It's a respiratory disease right now, not caused by contaminated water. Okay, Chakrika, you answer this one, and Sundus, you answer this one.
Yes, sir. Pick from the following one chemical used to disinfect water. Sir, it's chlorine.
It's chlorine. Very good. Yes, Sundus.
The system of a network of pipes used for taking away wastewater from homes or public buildings to the treatment plant is known as the sewers.
Be careful.
It
No.
says sewage.
Option number B. Right now.
Yes, sir.
Right. So sewerage and sewers are different things. Sewers are basically the pipes, basically the drains in which it is underground drains in which it is flowing. But when you talk about the network of those underground pipes, so that network is called as sewerage system. Okay, Sundus, this one, and Chakrika, this one. By the way, this one, no, just hold on for 1 minute. See, there was one more thing. I think it is over here. See, there's a one more thing that should have been discussed. It was about filtration plant. Okay, now filtration plant. So see, in the sewage treatment plant now, there will be one a step of filtration also. Okay, now in certain sewage treatment plants, filtration is done using different layers of sand, gravel, right now. Using different layers of sand and gravel, filtration is done. You guys might have studied about filtration in previous classes. At in filtration, what happens basically, if you were to have a dirty water and you make that water pass through layers of gravel and layers of sand and silt, so thereby it will become clean. Yes, gravels, you guys understand that gravels are what? Smaller
Yes,
pieces
sir.
of rocks, that is called.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
The
right.
bigger
The
pieces of rock,
bigger parts of
gravels.
sand.
So usually, like, you have a rock that you can hold in your hand. If you were to break it into several pieces, then you will be having gravel. Okay, now gravel, and after gravel, you will be having sand, then silt. Okay, now gravel, sand, and then silt, like this. Getting it now what I'm trying to say. So you'll be having different layers of the sand, gravel, and silt, and you will allow the water to pass through it. So that will also remove the suspended impurities from the water and then make it clean further. So filtration was also there. So here basically we will be using layers of sand, fine gravel, medium gravel is basically having a size between sand and then gravel. That is the medium gravel. Okay, now then silt is also sometimes used. Okay. Yeah. Answer these questions.
Which of the following is not part of an organic impurities of the seaweed? So phosphate.
Phosphates. Very good. Next one, Chakrika.
In the filtration plant, water is filtered using layers of sand, fine gravel, and medium gravel.
And medium gravel. Very good. Okay, so here the chapter finishes. If you guys have any questions, please do let me know. Or if there are questions from uh, NCRT textbook, please do let me know as well. Yes, are there any other questions in the chapter? Please do let me know. Or
Sorry,
the chapter
can I
finishes
go
here.
through once?
Okay, through the whole chapter. Sure.
Yes, sir. Once again.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sir.
So see, in the chapter, we basically studied about what is wastewater, right? So when waste from different sources are getting mixed into the water, so thereby the water becomes unfit for consumption, whether it be the effluents coming from the household, from hospitals, or from commercial organizations, right now from agriculture, that will be contaminating the water, making it unfit for our consumption. Contaminants is something that contaminates a substance, makes it unfit for consumption. So contaminants could be coming from domestic areas, from commercial areas, and from agriculture field as well. Further, we did classified this as, physically we studied it could be in solid state, liquid, and then in gaseous state also, right? Okay. When we look at a chemical perspective, we get to see that the contaminants can be classified as organic and inorganic in nature. These were the given examples of the organic and inorganic waste, right? So organic impurities, we studied that it will be including, it includes any type of substances that are biotic, biotic component, right? Now that is coming from humans or animals. For example, the animal waste, for example, urine, right? Human feces, oil, rotting vegetables and fruits. These are all examples of organic waste. Okay, now there were two more like pesticides and herbicides. These are also organic impurities. Okay, if not, I haven't written it over here. So include them as well, pesticides and herbicides. Okay, now. Okay. By the way, the herbicides, what does it mean, guys? Herbicides, what are they?
So plant-based pesticides? I mean, a plant-based
Herbicides
like
are, Mhm. It is plant, not plant based. It is basically used to kill the unwanted plants. Basically,
okay, so
weed killers, right now. So, herbicides are also called as weed killers, right? Okay, so they are spread on to the crops in order to control the growth of unwanted plants. Okay. Inorganic impurities were as follows. Remember the important names. Phosphates are one of the important example. Then we did talked about there will be certain biological contaminants in the water also, like bacteria, right? The type of microorganisms which are very tiny that cannot be seen by the naked eye. So thereby you need a microscope. Okay. By the way, when I say about microscope, who was the first person to have invented a working microscope? Yes. Know that
so
What? Sorry.
it was
What?
Hans something.
the question was who invented the first working microscope, a
So
microscope
like
using which you can view microorganisms.
so it was Hans something, right?
No, it was actually Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Okay, no. Although this is not part of the chapter, but know that he has been known as the father of microbiology. He was a microscopist, one who excels in the art of making
So but
microscopes.
Sir,
so
can
but
you
he
repeat the
was
name?
Anton von Leeuwenhoek, I have written it over here. Okay, now that was the person who invented the first compound microscope, to be very specific. Yeah, Chakrika, you were saying something.
nothing, sir. I thought like you were asking about like who invented the first working microscope. So
Basically, the first working compound microscope was developed by this person. There have been earlier attempts at making microscope also, but none of them were working as efficient as the one that was made by him. So he has been called as father of microbiology as well, because he did studied about the living cells. For the first time, he studied about the living cells, about sperm cells, right now. So that is the thing. Right, then we talked about sewage. Sewage is nothing different from wastewater. It is basically the wastewater that is coming from different sources, like the hospitals, from our from domestic sources, right now. So that is
so
what we
basically
studied that.
there's no such major difference between them, right? Sewage
No,
and
no,
wastewater.
No,
Okay, sir.
wastewater in general basically means any water that is a waste and that is unfit for consumption. So sewage is basically the same thing as the wastewater, right?
Okay, sir.
Mm. But the thing is that sewage is mainly in general context. You might have heard sewage is referred to the wastewater that is coming from domestic areas, right? No? Okay. When we talk about biological composition, you will find that saprophytic bacteria are also found in the water. That will be feeding on the dead and decaying plants and animal matter. Okay, now that is the thing. Then we further studied about the waste water management. How do we manage the wastewater that we are generating? So thereby we have a drainage system. Okay, now so where pipelines are laid down. So drainage system will be of two types. Open drainage system is there, and then you have the closed drainage system, right? This was the example of closed drainage system where you had manholes. The person would manually be going in the sewers in order to inspect it and clean it, right? Closed drains are like this. By the way, in this is when you study about the underground system of sewers, the whole system, the whole network of pipelines has been called as sewerage, as you attempted a question on this one also, right? So that is the thing about it. And further, like students in Kerala, as I told you, like had developed a robotic machine that can um, clean the manhole. Okay, now. And then we also studied due to open drains, there will be several diseases that will be spreading, right? Wastewater treatment plant. We did talked about this one also. First of all, wastewater is collected from all the houses in a given city or in a given town or in a given village. Thereby, it goes into the wastewater treatment plant where it goes through different processes. For example, it goes first of all, physical separation is done now, right? Then happens biological process is happening. Getting it now? Biological process is happening, and then thereby chemical process is also happening here. So when we talk about the biological process in the sewage treatment, physical separation now, it is up to here. It is till the sedimentation tank. Getting it, guys? Now till the sedimentation tank, physical process is happening. How? Physical means that not disturbing the chemical composition of something. That is what physical means now. You bend a paper, you bend a pencil, you break a pencil, you are not doing a physical change. Although it's an irreversible change, but it's not a physical change. So here you have separated the large pieces of solid waste from the here from the wastewater, and then further in the grid tank, further you allowed the waste to settle down right now. And then again in sedimentation tank, the sludge was settling down and the scum was floating above. Till here, physical process has happened. Now later from here, now as soon as you go into the aeration tank, so thereby now biological process has started because aerobic bacteria are decomposing the biotic waste in it. Getting it, guys? And then you had the third treatment, that is the chemical treatment where chlorine is added. Hope you guys got this one as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And then filtration is also done, right? In certain sewage treatment plant, of filtration is also done where you will be using layers of sand, gravel, and medium gravel in order to clean the water. Better housekeeping is practices we did discuss that basically keeping your house clean and adopting measures in order to uh, spread the disease, right, and minimize the waste generation, right? Vermicomposting, we did talked about this
Sir,
one
in
also.
order to spread the disease,
Yes, in order to spread the disease, and then I didn't
I
get the
didn't get it.
whole question.
I mean, like, you said in order to spread the disease, right?
I mean, in order to control the spread of disease, it should I should have said. Okay, now in
Okay.
order to
I just got
control
confused.
in order to control the spread of disease, right? Okay. Then we did talked about the concept of vermicompost toilets, composting toilets, basically, right? Okay, now so where the human waste can be generated into useful substances that will be added to the soil in order to enhance the fertility of the soil. Okay, no, so that is the thing about it. Septic tanks, we did talked about these things as well. We did talked about certain type of plants. Septic tanks, we did talked about this one. That septic tanks are what basically they are referred to safe disposal of human waste in underground tanks where anaerobic bacteria will be decomposing it into harmless substances right now. So that is the thing about it. Okay, so you guys answer one more thing. What are the bacteria that will cause water contamination? What type of bacteria can be found in the water that will be contaminating it? I might have given few examples of it in the class. There will be different type of bacteria living in the water that can make you sick.
Sir, typhoid?
But the name of the bacteria is
Uh,
typhoid. Salmonella.
Salmonella, yes, salmonella.
Salmonella
So
typhi.
Vibrio cholera.
Very good. Very good. Vibrio cholera. And then there's another
Cholera. So then, what is cholera? Pneumonia. I think it's pneumonia.
pneumonia. I think you're talking about. Is it pneumonia?
Yes, sir. It might have been. I'm sorry. I just spelling
Okay,
wrong.
okay, no, no issue. I will come to that also. Then there's a one more. Like there's another type of bacteria called E. coli. E. coli.
So that female anopheles something is there, right? Which causes malaria.
But here we are talking about bacteria only. I did. The
Oh
question is
yeah.
that right now, malaria is caused by a protozoa. Okay, now malaria is caused by a protozoa. When we talk about microorganisms now, it's not like only bacteria or only viruses are there in
So
this group.
pathogens are
Pathogens
they?
are disease-causing microorganisms are called as pathogens. See, when we talk about microorganisms now, there are bacteria, then there are protozoa, then there are algae, then there is fungus. Okay,
So
now
we also talked about protoworms fungus. I think, right? Protoworms fungus.
will you please repeat that again?
Protoworm fungus.
Protozoa and fungus, are you saying?
No, sir. It
Protozoa,
was written.
let me recall that. By the way, let me just complete this. Bacteria,
Okay, sir.
protozoa, algae, fungus, and then virus. These are all under the, these are all different type of microorganisms, right? So certain type of bacteria, these are all examples of bacteria that are found living in the water, right? Now that can cause food, or that can cause health problems in humans. Okay, now protozoa, you have a example of protozoa called as plasmodium. Okay, now, and that is responsible for causing malaria. In E. coli, what happens? In E. coli, what happens? There will be infection in the gut, infection in the intestine, in the stomach. Getting it now? So normally in lower intestine, in the low, in the small intestine, infection happens in E. coli. Okay, now you might have heard like the disease name is also E. coli, and the name of the bacteria is also E. coli. The name of the disease is also E. coli, and the bacteria that causes it is also called as E. coli. Getting it, guys?
Yes, sir.
That is the thing. Okay, you guys had some questions. Please do let me know which questions you guys were asking. Sundus, I think you had one question.
I don't have any, sir.
Okay, Sundus, you had one question, I think.
Sir, no, I didn't have any question.
Okay, so here I think we have in fact finished all the chapters as well, right?
Yes, sir.
So here the syllabus have been finished. Okay, now Chakrika, you list down the names of the chapters to me, will you please again? Which chapters you haven't studied?
Sir, I need to check. Sir, can I get a minute? Can I get a minute?
Sure.
Okay.
By the way, in cholera, what happens, guys? In cholera, normally it affects children and adults both. And if the person is not treated properly, right now, it can even kill the person. Yeah, the person can have seizures in this also. Seizures, that seizure I'm talking about. The cholera you might have seen, like normally if children are suffering from diarrhea, suffering from vomiting and dehydration, their leg cramps develops in their legs and hands right now. So those are actually those could be the symptoms of cholera. Getting it, Sundhu Sanchurika?
Yes.
Okay.
The ones I didn't study in the class, I think they are fiber to fabric. And
What you have studied in the batch?
what I have studied in the batch,
Okay.
like what we did when I was there, sir.
Yes.
Sir, nutrition in plants and in animals.
Okay.
And then I think we did heat, right, sir? I think we
Heat.
did.
Yeah, we did that
And
as
then
well.
weather,
Acids.
climate, and adaptations of animals to climate.
Okay.
And then soil.
By the way, I will be pausing you there. You guys might have seen like some of the chapters were omitted from the syllabus this year. Have you guys been updated regarding that? Like soil chapter, I think it has been removed from the NCERT book. If you were to have the updated textbook of 2023 to 2024 year, if you have the 2023 edition of the textbook, I think you won't be finding the soil chapter in it. Which edition you guys are having of NCERT?
So I'm having 2020, sir.
2020. Okay. Also, do consult with your teacher in the school as also, like sir or madam, please do let me know whether some chapters have been omitted this year or not.
Okay, sir.
Anyways, continue.
Yes, sir. Then I think after soil, I think we're also done with wind, storms, and cyclones, sir.
Okay. Chakrika, do one thing now. We had having 10 minutes remaining, so I think we should be using this 10 minutes. Let's have few questions from the chapters. So Chakrika, do one thing now. Send the names of all those chapters which you have studied from me to me. Okay, now.
Okay, sir. So in the
Make sure
chat
you send
or
that
what?
either in the group or either to me directly. Okay. Also, do tell me one more thing. From in the final syllabus, you'll be having in the final exam, you will be having questions from all the chapters or from particular chapters only in your
Sir,
final
only
exam.
particular chapters, sir.
Okay, is nutrition in plants there?
No, sir.
Nutrition in animals?
No, sir.
Okay, heat.
No, sir.
Okay, what about respiration in organisms?
No, sir.
Okay, which chapters are there then?
So, but actually, this term we're having different chapters, sir. We're already done with all the chapters in previous terms.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so you guys would like to answer some questions from electric currents and its effects? Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with that, sir.
Okay, Sundus?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
okay.
Okay, good. So first of all, now define what do you understand by electric current. Both of you have to answer, starting from Sundus. What do we mean by electric current?
Mm.
You can start by answering first.
Of
What
charge,
do you? Yeah. Yes.
like it is a flow of charged
Hmm.
particles, and
Very good. You are saying right. Continue. It is basically a flow of charged particles.
yes,
Okay. Chakrika, you would like to add something in it?
So the flow of electricity through a conductor is called electric current.
To be more specific, the flow of charged particles through an electrical conductor is called as electric current. Right now,
Yes, so basically electricity is basically a form of energy, right? So
it is a form of energy that is generated due to flow of charges. Right. Okay. When we study about the concept of electricity now, electricity has two branches. One is called as static electricity. One is called as electric current. Okay, no? Or basically called as current electricity. Current electricity. See, in static electricity, what happens? You might have seen that if you were to rub a piece of glass rod, you rub a piece of glass rod with a silk cloth, so thereby the glass rods will develop positive charges in it, and the silk develops negative charge in it. Right now, so here you get to see that is the charge that has developed on the bodies, are they in motion? Are they moving in this body? Answer is no. Okay. For example, do another activity. Let's take two balloons like this. Rub both of them using a woolen cloth. We have used a woolen cloth to rub these balloons. So when you rub these balloons using a woolen cloth, thereby they will be developing charges on them. Right? Now they will be developing charges on them, and they will start to repel each other because they have developed same charges on them. Remember, like how we talk about magnets, like poles repel each other. Right now, unlike poles of magnets attract each other. Same thing here, we get to see that like charges, meaning positive and positive charges, or the negative and negative charges will be repelling each other. So they are repelling each other here now. Getting it, guys? Okay. You
yes.
guys are getting it, both of you? Shigrika, I think you are not getting it, huh? Hello?
no, sir, I don't think so.
Okay, see. You might actually do this activity. Take a comb, rub it in your hair, rub it in your hair, and then bring it near few pieces of paper. Okay, now basically take a paper, tear it into several pieces, and then rub a comb in your hair, and then bring that comb near to the paper. You will see the papers will be getting attracted to the comb. Yeah. Why has it happened? Because the
Scale,
co- because
when you rub it in,
hmm, it's scale as well. Yeah.
like
So Sundus, you get to see now that they have developed
Similar to this one, sir,
charges.
I tried with a balloon.
With the balloon also it can be tried. So they have
Actually,
developed a hmm. So
yes.
when you have two different materials now, like a comb is made up of plastic and paper is basically paper simply. They are two different materials, and then when this is rubbed with the hair now, it develops some charges on it, right? So it will be having some charge, it will also be having some charge, and then thereby getting attracted towards each other. Same example, you have a glass rod, you have rubbed it using a silk, then they develop opposite charges, so they will be getting attracted towards each other. In fact, now when you take two balloons and rub both of them using a woolen cloth, they will be developing same charges. They have the same material, that is balloon, that is a polythene, basically a kind of polythene. Both of them will be have in rubbed with the same glue, so thereby they will be repelling each other. It is due to the charges that are acquired on the surface of the body. But the thing is it that the charge is flowing from one body to another? The answer is obviously no. So thereby we call them as static electricity. Static means something that is at rest. That is at rest. So the charge on the body is at rest. So thereby, when we study this type of electricity, it is called as static electricity, when the charge is not flowing from one body to another body, or from one part of the body to another part of that body. You guys understood this one or not? Please do let me know. Hello.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right now. But what if so if the charges are flowing in a wire? Note this term current. You must have heard of water current. Yes. Oceanic currents. You must have
Yes,
heard of
yes,
such terms: water current, air currents. So when do we say that water current and when do we see that? Say that whenever water is in movement, whenever air is movement from land to the sea or sea to the land, sea breeze and land breeze, right now.
yes, sir.
So thereby, whenever charge will be at movement, when it will be moving from one place to another. So thereby, it is called as current electricity. Getting it, guys? Current means something that is at movement. Okay, now. So that's why we call this as current electricity. So an electric current is basically the flow of charged particles that is moving in moving in an electrical conductor, right? Or it can be moving in sometimes in air as well. Although air is a bad conductor of electricity, but you get to see that lightning is there in the air now. When lightning happens, it is there in the air now. But usually we say that air is a bad conductor of electricity, but still you get to see the lightning, because when too much of charges it develops in the clouds, so thereby even air will be conducting the charges, the electricity. Okay, now. So that is the thing. Hope you guys are getting it and not getting confused. If getting confused, please do let me know. Okay, I
No,
will.
sir.
Yes, you guys are getting confused, not now. So before I end the class,
No,
please
sir.
do let me know what were the things which we studied in the chapter electric current and its effects. What effects are generated due to electric current?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
So what did you just say? I didn't understand.
In the chapter,
Excuse me, sir.
yes, Chakrika. Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
I just
listening.
couldn't hear you, but now I can, sir.
Oh, okay, okay. No, sure. So in the chapter, electric current and its effects, what were the effects of electric current which we studied? There were 2 or 3 effects of electric current which we studied. Yes. What happens when electricity is flowing? What effects are generated due to this? Anyone?
So sorry, I didn't heard.
My question is that
Sir,
in
I
the
didn't get the.
my question is that, look here. Basically, when current is flowing in a circuit, okay, na? So when current flows in a circuit, it generates some effect. It generates some effect, like the heating effect. Heating effect,
The
no?
magnet.
Yes, sir.
Magnetic effect. That's what I've been asking. Okay, no? Okay, we might be taking up this chapter in the next class, but before that, Chakrika, do update me with your syllabus and the chapters which you haven't studied in the batch. Okay, no?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now start revising, because now from now on we will be revising the chapters. Mostly we will be taking up questions. Right now, if it's a 1 hour class, so for the 40 minutes we'll be discussing question. It's going to be like this. Okay, now. So whatever
Okay,
doubts you
sir.
guys are having in the chapter, accumulate all the doubts. Okay, now.
Sir, I'm not sure about that because, I have MOE exams coming up.
Which exam?
MOE exams. It's basically for 3 subjects.
Okay, okay. When is it?
Like more
When is that, by
edu-
the way?
So they're gonna start from Monday or Tuesday. So yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. But still try to manage. Okay, because the exams are going to be in few weeks.
In few months actually, like in 1 month.